Hi, Global Innovation Forum. I'm Matthew Ashton, and I'm Vice President of Design at the Lego Group. So it's super lovely that I get to spend some time with you today. Yes, so I've worked at the Lego Group for 21 years now and have worked on all different products for different age groups and different target audiences. So I've had a lot of experience with testing with consumers, developing toys that they love. I've also worked a little bit with entertainment. I was the executive producer on 3 of the Lego movies as well. So not only have I worked on the product side of things, I've also worked on the sort of entertainment and storytelling side as well. So I currently oversee 10 product lines within our portfolio, and they're based on our core lines. So that's all the stuff that we have as part of our assortment on an ongoing basis. So that's like City and Friends and Classic and Creator and Technic and Ninjago and a bunch of other stuff as well. Actually, my dream when I was a kid, I remember being sat on my brother's bedroom floor playing with Lego together. I'd just seen the movie Big, which is about Tom Hanks. It's a kid that grows up to become Tom Hanks, who becomes a toy designer and working in a big corporation. And then I was also obsessed with things like Pinocchio, which is all about a toy coming to life as well. So I was very influenced by all of that kind of stuff as a child, but remember sort of sitting and building with Lego and being fascinated by it, and how I really sensed that this was so sort of well designed and put together and thought through in a way that I kind of felt that being a toy designer would be a really, really cool job as an adult. But as I grew up, I thought that's not a real thing. Nobody does that. That's a fairy tale job. And so I knew I wanted to do something creative, studied, did an art foundation course, which is sort of multidisciplinary. You try lots of different creative mediums and stuff through that, through graphic design and fashion design, fine art, ceramics, sculpting, and ultimately decided to pursue fashion design. But when I graduated, I created a miniature version of my catwalk collection on Barbie dolls for an exhibition that we had in London. And as if by magic, there were some Lego headhunters at that event looking for that were talent scouting for new people to work for the organization, and they spotted what I'd done kind of by accident, but loved it. And then ultimately I got some freelance work from that, and then finally landed my dream job that I had imagined that I would potentially love to do as an 8 or 9-year-old. So yes, so it's a little fairy tale come true. So for any of you that don't know what it is, this is a set that we've just released called Everyone is Awesome. And it's obviously based on the LGBTQ pride flag. We use the progress flag as a sort of starting point for this. So it includes, of course, the classic colors of the original pride flag, and then the additional colors sort of highlighting all the different skin tones and ethnicity of people that are part of the LGBTQ community. And then it also includes the colors from the trans flag as well. So that's basically what was launched. It was originally a little something that I just created for my own desk. I'd moved desks in the office and felt I wanted something that represented me on my desk. And so that was something that I built for myself. And at the same time, we were having a lot of discussions on a management level about how we can sort of create products that help promote sort of empathy and understanding and seeing through people's differences and seeing that differences could be are actually a really, really good thing. And as those discussions were sort of coming to a head, I ran to my desk and was like, I think I've got something here that could really, really help with breaking into to doing something that sort of promotes and celebrates the LGBTQ plus community. So that was presented to management, and they liked the idea, and luckily greenlit it. And this was our first foray into doing something that's so sort of outspoken in that regard. So basically, this is the prototype version. So it's not the completed and final version. So if you look closely, oh, all of these wigs are actually spray painted into the right colors rather than being the official ones. But what I wanted to do when I created this was to kind of have the characters in some regard sort of free of decoration and free of too much sort of gendering. So when consumers building this product, they can sort of project who they think each of the characters are in those different regards. So I did want a range of hairstyles on the characters. So it looked like a broad cross-section of a lot of different people with different styles, obviously tapping into more specific styles to represent the ethnicities within these characters, and then also to represent people who may be transitioning from one gender to another, paired with that color to sort of say, like, once you've transitioned to a male, then you're fully accepted as a male, and the same with the sort of pink version to say, like, once you've made the change to become female, then you're fully embraced as that. So that's kind of my thinking behind it. The world and everything we've been experiencing over the last few years has been quite turbulent and emotional, and there are a lot of issues out there that we feel that we could sort of be helping in teaching lessons of empathy and understanding. And I think this is something that the world needs at the moment. Is there's a lot of division and differences of opinions between people, but I think sort of things like, from a Lego brand value perspective, we've got 6 brand values, and caring and learning are both part of our brand values, and that's what we sort of wanted to promote with a product like this, is to say, look, we are all different, but looking out for each other, seeing the good in everybody, seeing that everyone deep down can be awesome, and life experiences and things may have made things difficult for people, but we just want to say that we're here for everybody, and to really celebrate kindness, I think is super important. As a child, I was in a position where I knew there was something different about me, didn't really understand what it was, didn't really felt like I had many people around me who were similar to me, didn't feel that anything that I was watching on TV or seeing in the media really represented who I was. And that kind of made me, in many regards, a bit lonely. Even though I had friends and things, I had to keep a lot of what I was truly feeling within me, and not necessarily talk about different topics. I also think in an effort to prevent me from potentially being bullied and things, a lot of the adults around me tried to straighten me up and toughen me up and things. So I'd look after myself in that regard, which meant that anything that came naturally to me, and the way that I talked or played or whatever I did, I felt that that wasn't right, and it may be sort of embarrassing people or whatever, and so that made me sort of retract into myself and not truly be who I was. So I think having TV shows and stories and movies and cartoons and products and content and everything out there that just shows that everybody's different in a way, and it's okay to be different, and everybody's unique, but at the same time, you're not alone, and you can find other people going through similar things like that you're going through is super powerful, and it can be really meaningful to a lot of people. So I didn't feel like I had a lot of that as a kid, and I just want to make sure that we're doing what we can as a brand to make everybody see that there is a place for them in the world, and that they can be accepted and understood and loved, and all of that kind of good stuff. So yeah. Yes, so I think, of course, it's something that is very topical. This is something that is one of our first steps into this. Of course, we have, in many regards, really worked on things in the past, like getting a better gender balance of our sort of male and female representation of characters and things like that. We're also definitely making improvements in our representation of people with different abilities and disabilities. So that's really on our radar. So I think it's one of those things where you just keep having to push the bar every single year, make sure that this isn't a one-time tokenism thing, and you do make sure that you back it all up and continue to do better each year. I think another good thing that I've really experienced at Lego is within the design community as well. We are, I think we're somewhere around 35 different nationalities within the design department now, and I think that is such a healthy way of forming a team that needs to be global, is to be hiring global talent, because then you get everybody else's sort of expertise, everybody's backgrounds, sort of references of what everybody's been brought up on and watched on TV and been inspired by throughout their lives, makes everything so much richer and sort of more global in that respect. So I'm really lucky to be working in an environment like that. Of course, we've still got steps to take to keep improving on that year on year, to make sure that we've got really good representation. And I think another thing that we trying to do as well is, whenever we're developing new characters, not only for products but things that are for TV shows and characters that are going to have stories told about them, we are working with some external experts in this field as well, who link us in with people who have lived the experiences of the characters that we're trying to create, so we can do what we can to be as authentic as possible. So that's probably one of the newer things that we're just doing in more recent years, is really teaming up with experts in this field to make sure that when we do things, we do them in the best way that we possibly can. In many regards, stepping out there and really tackling some of these issues can be a bit of a minefield. Everybody's got a different opinion on whatever you do, and you can never keep everybody happy at the same time. Like with this set that I've created, of course, there's been a load of champions and supporters of it, but it's also created some negativity as well. So I think you just need to be bold and take some steps and actually do something and try things and push the bar, even though there's no right solution to everything that you'll need to do. So it's taking a deep breath and actually just getting out there and doing something, making a difference, and then learning what you can do better and differently each time round. So I think that's probably my main bit of advice. And then also to make sure, of course, everybody has an opinion about these things, both internally and externally. So teaming up with people who are specialists in these areas and have lived experiences of whatever character you're trying to create or story that you're trying to tell, to make sure that these things are as authentic as possible is really important.